Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Leilu Nishmas Mordechai. Welcome to all the guests. We have with us two gentlemen from South Africa. Your name? Sidney Gishin, and your son? Yoel Gishin. And we have all the way from Borough Park, the Bar Mitzvah Bacher. Talber, what's your name? Menachem. Kimehem, Menachem. Get over here. And what's your name, Tzadik, hiding over there? What? Schreiber from London. Come here. Mazel tov. Wie heißt er? Menachem. What school do you go to? What yeshiva? Chassam Soifer? Chassan or Chassam? Chassan Soifer in Borough Park. Shkoyach. What, you do the daf? A shtickle. Okay. Gewaldig. Mazel tov. Rabbi Isai, since my father didn't sponsor an honor my birthday, I had to at least give something from the real Cheverman, Zechariah Stern. So if you're wondering what he looks like, his father also sent an email, which he doesn't know about, and here's Zechariah. I think it's Givaldic, seriously.
Burning your face.
I don't care what they do. They could burn my face as long as they don't have Spider-Man on their cake. A lot of kids have all these shtusim on their cake, and look. Burn it, not burn it. For you, thank you for providing nightly child care, says David Stern. Puts his kid in front of the tablet and he watches the daf. Unbelievable. It's a different generation. Nehemiah Seltzer says, spotted in Great Neck. Here. Nehemiah, there's a sticker on the thing. Nehemiah just got to America. A lot of people are like all excited. He doesn't realize every other car has one of those. Mr. Mendel, I live in Williamsburg. I enjoy Baruch Hashem every day your shir on the All-Daf app. It's amazing, thank you. As you mentioned today on the shir, everyone from Williamsburg should have some kind of connection. You can create a WhatsApp group or we should get together. Thank you, Mr. Mendel. No?
I have a WhatsApp group. I just need people now.
Oh. So, Mr. Mendel, there is a WhatsApp group.
He's in it.
Oh, Mr. Mendel's in it. He's the only guy in it. Wow.
Now I need others. They need to email in so I get
So, when somebody joins that WhatsApp group, do they get to see Mr. Mendel's messages? He messaged himself before everybody joined?
There's no messages yet.
Yeah. Tarav, Agoyin, Atzadik, Harashke, Bahag, Bali Moif, Simor, and Raveli. Okay, that's the end of the email. I'm not going to read the rest. I'm not sure who the mechutzev who doubted your commitment to family is, but we appreciate that you gave your precious Torah learning time to come to our l'chaim. Okay, it's not about you, Reb Nachman. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Reb Eli, for your true devotion. Don't let the haters get to you. The boy say, he's hacking at China. He's being let's. No. Just like the second part is Litzon is the first part of the Rashi. You can pay attention to the screen, Rabbi Isai here, the one and only, the spokesperson. This is going to be Gavaldik. This is going to be a massive, massive video that you've never seen such a massivity in your life.
Rabbi Isai, we're having a massive CM coming up July 7, 6 p.m. in Deal, New Jersey, right on the water. It's a massive CM that you've never seen before. Flying in speakers, Barry Weber singing, a massive band, good food. You're going to enjoy it. You'll love it. It's going to be amazing. Something you've never seen before. Come, bring your friend. They don't want to miss it. They're going to regret the day they were not there. Come and register now. Don't wait for the last minute. MDYCM.com. We are also looking for corporate sponsors. Someone who...
He's about... Oh. I think we have to watch the whole thing again.
Sponsored by Massive Schwarm.
Massive Schwarm. Massivity. He says prizes, but he means prices. Don't hate on him. This is not his first language. Here. Oh. What's going on here? Okay, let's watch it again. I'm kidding. Here.
And register now. Don't wait for the last minute. MDYCM.com. We are also looking for corporate sponsors. Someone who can sponsor the event. We're going to put the logo, their company logo on it. All sorts of prizes are available. Please contact me on my WhatsApp number at 845-694-4313. Or you can go straight to MDYCM.com.
Everybody's
Your
spamming.
dollar amount
I think
will
we
go
should just take his number and just start
Torah
spamming.
for Claudius.
Okay. I'm so sad to hear about Jimmy Weiss. We grew up together in Miami Beach. His grandfather's the baker in my father's hotel. His father's assistant rabbi in Baltfield for many years. As a kid, he always had a smile on his face, and as an adult as well. Where can I send a donation for the family? Eli Hirsch, Lakewood, Moshie Hirsch's father.
I set up a show link, which is shimmy.amen.com.
Okay, put it on the screen, whatever. I'm not gonna. Okay. The last day for the Koil sponsor of the month, hatzlacha likol mishpachas MDY. Whoever wants to sponsor the Koil next month, be in touch. Koil sponsorship for the week. Lzchus shidduch leishua Leo ben Tzipora Lzchus parnasah toivel Moshie Yaakov ben Shoshana. By Ahron Fraiman Lzchus continue parnasah siyadta dishmaya and hatzlacha to rebelli. Parnasah number 2. The Lock and Lebovic families, Lakewood NJ, because Torah is the best segulah. Parnasah number 3. Refuah Shilayma for Yevamos, Aviya Bas Shifra. Parnasah number 4. The MDY Family, Nishmas, Shimshon, Weiss, Shimson ben Meshulam. Not bad. I should be zoicha to have nachas de gedusha and tremendous success in my endeavors. By Chaya Fix, Nishmas, Yehuda ben Tzvi. By Jamie Stadmauer. For the Refuah Shilayma of Tinoik ben Chaya Esther Refuah Shilayma. Who's bar mitzvah? Oh, that's right. Get over here. Wow. I didn't chap. Here he is. Today's your baby. Yesterday. What, last night? Ah, mazel tov, mazel tov. You have been with us every single day since Rosh Hashanah? Every day. Tell the Ilam, you almost got kicked out of school for doing the daf. Right? Yemenal is here. Let's speak to him. But you stuck with it, and you're going to stick with it, and you're going to finish shots with us, yeah?
Hey.
Mazel tov. Very, very impressed. Very impressed. Not a single daf that he missed. Through Yevamos and everything. Unbelievable.
And he brings his father too.
Yeah, he brings his father. Rabbi Isai, here we are. We're holding one line before the wide lines on Kuf Ches Amud Beis. Biram, Kach Shoalu. We're in the middle of a story. They spent a lot of money. The Gemara says 400 zuz to ask one question in learning, to find out the halacha. Hare hoisa eshes achi imoy shihi shniya loy. Very, very simple case, Rabbi say. You have a ktana. She's 11 years old, let's say, and she is married to the brother of the wife. Yeah, you're holding cup so far? The brother of the wife. Shihi shniya loy. And she, because she is only a shniya, she's a second degree erva, only with the rabbanon. In other words, there's a guy on the bottom, and up here, there's a mother who has a brother who's married to this ktana. So right over here, she's a shniya. And that guy on the bottom, he went ahead and he married a brother from his father. There was a father and had 2 sons, and one of them was a brother. You're holding cup so far, right? Umeis. And he died. Mau shtimoin hashto. If this ktana, who got married to the brother on the bottom, there was a father had 2 sons. You're with me. I chap that you're with me. There's a father that has 2 sons, right over here. So she, the ktana, went married him. After she married him, over here on top. Okay, now she's married him. So, I'm a little confused myself. So what happens is, we don't have time for this, Rabbi, so we don't have time for this. But if anybody, that's what I'm saying here, if she does miyun now, So now maybe she could be married to this guy on the bottom because she did me into the guy on the top. Next case. Anybody chap what I'm saying here? Nobody chap. $1,000 if you can repeat what I just said. $1,000. Knew anybody?
The lady from there if she marries the boy from here.
All right, we have charts. I just don't know how they do it in other shiurim. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't chap without a chart. How do you do it? Okay. So we have here a couple who got, it's one of the more interesting cases in Yevamos, I think. You have a couple on top, then they're not important to the story. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl, 5-towner and the plumber. We just saw the plumber actually. He's the guy in the video that says there's a lot of prizes if you sponsor. And everything's massive. Now, the 5-towner got married to the dentist in the 5 towns, who also has another wife, Batayin. Now, the plumber marries a Ktana. So if we look at it just like this, the 5-towner's brother married a Ktana. So the Ktana is Eishes Achi Imoy. We're going to see in a second, because the 5-towner has a son. Hold on. It gets more interesting. Now, the 5-towner has a son with the dentist, and so does Badayin. So there's 2 sons, Reuven and Shimon. Reuven and Shimon, the Baldwin brothers, are always related. They're brothers from the father, not from the mother. Now, Reuven went ahead. I'm telling you, it's interesting. I don't know how you do this, Balpeh. Some people hate charts, and it's great. They're more of an audio kind of person. Reuven married Mayan. Now, so everything clear? Let's Nachamal. You have a couple on the top that had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. 5-towner went ahead and got married to the dentist, who also has another wife. The dentist has 2 boys, one with the 5-towner, one with the other one. One of them, Reuven, marries Batai or Mazal. The plumber marries a minor. Great. What happens next? The plumber gets divorced from the minor, and Reuven decides he's going to pick up another wife. Now he has 2 wives. He has Mazal and he has the girl. So just to picture it, it could be over here. She's married to him, but she goes and she marries Reuven. Now what happens? Reuven is going to die. He went bye-bye. Now, if you look up there, it says, Eishes Achi Imoy. That's the name of the case. Because Eishes, I left it there. Now we'll bring her back just for a second to show. She's the wife of the plumber, who's the brother of the mother. You see, the 5-towner is a mother of who? Of Shimon. So therefore, the Ktana cannot fall Yibum to Shimon. Why? Because the Ktana, in this case, she was married to the plumber, who's the brother of the Yevam's mother. The mother of the Yevam. The Yevam is Shimon. His mother has a brother called the plumber, and that guy married the Ktana. Now you wanted to get married. It's a problem. Oh, no, let's go back this way. She's his aunt. Very good. She's his aunt. This little girl is Shimon's aunt, and he can't be miyabim, your aunt. But it's removed. Shniya, says the Gemara. So let's see inside. Harei hoysa eishes achi imoy shishniya loy. This Ktana was the wife of the brother. V'nasa achiv. But later on, Reuven, the brother, married her. Umeis, and Reuven dies. Ma'osh demoyin hashta. What happens if this Ktana does mian right now today, after her original husband divorced her, and say that she was never married to the original husband, the plumber? If we could take away the marriage, the Ktana from the plumber, then Shimon could be miyabim her. Then they're not related anymore. It just happens to be his brother's wife. So I should take it out of the Gemara? Okay, I'll take it out of the Gemara. Fine, whatever you want. Take it out now or later. Okay, let's go weiter. I hear what you say. We're calling it Yibum. We're calling it, this is what it is. Okay? Says the Gemara, V'tisiyabim, sorry, Judah, it says Tisiyabim. What should I do? Yesh, mion, la'achar misa v'mokim mitzvah Eli. Since she performed the mion after her husband died, does it work or not? Be mokim mitzvah. In other words, why am I performing mion? So that Shimon can be mekayim a mitzvah d'oraisa, be miyam his wife. The fact that she was married once to the plumber, we're going to undo that marriage retroactively, and therefore she's going to be mekayim a mitzvah. Do we do that? So they hired 2 people. On the side it says maybe 1, because the first time it also says 1. 1 or 2 people went. It cost 400 zuz. And they asked Rabbi Akiva what to do. And he says, do not do it. As Rabbi Yehuda ben Seir ben Netzivim v'asar, and he said, don't do it. So here goes the case. Check this out. This we had yesterday. Step 1 is the dentist gave her divorce. Step 2 is she married Shimon, and then she did miyun in Shimon. What's the halacha? The halacha is that she's usher to the dentist according to Rav. She can't go back to the dentist. Why? Because he gave her a get. Remember, we said they can wink to each other. He says, here's 3 candies, come back. So he said, no more to the dentist, no more. But what about to the dentist's brother, the plumber? In this case, the dentist and the brother and the plumber are related. What about to the brother? Is there an isser here or not? There's no problem. She could marry the plumber. Of course, it's only the dentist that we have a problem with, and the Rabbanan said, don't let him get married to her anymore, because he knows how to wink to her and give her a simon that they should get married, and she should get out of the Shimon guy and come back to him. But the brother doesn't know any of these hints. So it's pashat. Maybe just make one gzeir, that whole family shouldn't marry her, the brother shouldn't marry her. The brother could marry her. The exact opposite. Just like this Tana can't marry the dentist, she can't marry the plumber. But why not? The plumber doesn't know how to do all the shtick. There is a gzeira. The first time that was the kamashma. We think there should be gzeira. Kamashma, there's no gzeira. Second pshat is Zikadar. No, there is a gzeira. Everybody's also there. Says the Hillel Mishnah, the official Mishnah sponsored Nishmas from Yechiel ben Reb Avrom, Zechron Levracha, survivor of the war. Hamigors is Yishav zero. So just check out this very, very simple chart. There's a machlokes. At what point do we view the Yevama? Do we view her at the death of her husband, Misama Pelas? So at that point, she's mutter to the Yavam, everything's great. Or no? Do we say Nisuan or Rishonim? These are concepts we already discussed in the Masechta. Is it, you have to look at the entire marriage. What happened from 30 years ago till today? Was there any point in between that she, the Yevama, was usher to the brother-in-law? That's Nisuan or Rishonim. Or we say, no, I don't care about the 30 years. I care about this moment of death. Was she mutter to the brother-in-law or not? That's it. So Mamela. Hamagar says zero. Here we have a situation that during the 30 years, the original brother gave her a divorce. But then he took her back. But when he gave her a divorce, she was usher to the brother-in-law. And now the original husband takes her back. And then the original husband dies. And now all of a sudden she falls to Yibam. Oh, maybe it's a problem. Well, if you say in the Sunnah Rishonim Apilim, they have to look at all 30 years. There was a moment in time in the middle of the 30 years she was usher to her brother-in-law. Muteres liyovim. But the Tanakhama holds, no, misam apelas. I go by the moment of death. I don't care what happened. He divorced her, took her back, divorced her 6 times. Ze lo ichpatli. I care about right now, and right now she is mutter. Top of Kuftas. And Rebbe says, no, nisun rishonim apilim. I look at the entire 30 years. Now we're going according to the Tanakhama that says, misam apelas, I care about the moment of death. So, if he divorces the minor, that her brothers married her off, and he took her back. It doesn't matter what she is right now. She could be a minor, she could be a ktana, she could be a gdoila. Muteres la yavam. She's mutter to go back to the yavam. She's mutter to the Yavam. Why? Because Misam Apelas, we could look at this moment right now. He says, no, can't go back. You can't have Yibum. Now, a little bit different. You have a Ktana that her father married her off. If her father marries her off, what kind of Kiddushin is it? D'oraisa. Vinis Garsha, says Rashi, he took the get from the husband. So what kind of divorce is it? D'oraisa. D'oraisa plus d'oraisa. Ki yisoyma b'chayav. Now, she is like a yisoyma in the life of her father, because once she gets married, d'oraisa marriage, she leaves her father's rishos forever. That's it. She never goes back. Now she's divorced, v'chzira, and he took her back as a ktana. D'vriakol asura layavam. So she's usher to the yavam. Why? Because midoiraisa, what is she considered? A divorcee. She got married midoiraisa, she got divorced midoiraisa. So right now she's in a status of a doraisa divorcee. And then he took her back, because now she's not considered married, she's considered divorced. Or Eifa. Says Eifa, name of a person, says Rashi. Chacham. My time of the Rebbe Lazar. What's the pshat in Rebbe Lazar in the first two cases of the Mishnah that he says that, well, we're going to come to the Nesun Rishayim Apilim. Chayil va'amdalav sha'achaz b'isura. Once he divorced his wife. Reuven divorces his wife somewhere in the marriage. So at that moment, the woman becomes asur to Shimon, the brother-in-law, and therefore she becomes asur forever. And even if Reuven takes her back, and she falls liyibum to Shimon, she's asur to Shimon. She's mamsha erva. According to you, she is asur to Shimon, the Yavam. So if she's asur to Shimon the Yavam, why does she need chalitza? If you're going to say, where does it say in the Mishnah anything about chalitza? It says, Hamagar says he took her back, mutaris leyavam, v'Rebbe Lazar, oiser. He doesn't say Rebbe Lazar says you need chalitza. Rebbe Lazar says she's asur. Finished in the story. Maybe the pshat is she's asur to you, and you don't even have to give chalitza. It says mefurish. Rebbe Lazar holds she doesn't require chalitza. But why? According to you, it makes a lot of sense. There shouldn't be any chalitza. She's asur to you. If a woman is asur to you, she's your daughter that falls to you, leave. You don't give her chalitza. She just goes out. She walks away. Says Eifa, because we don't know. Rebbe Lazar says we don't know what the pshat is. I'm sorry. He says Eifa says lo yadana my time. I don't know. I'm stuck. I don't have pshat. Comes Abai says I'll tell you pshat. I know time the Rebbe Lazar. I have a suffix. Do I go with the green or with the red? Is it the moment of death, or I look at the entire marriage? If I say that it goes by the moment of death, so I don't care that she got divorced and she came back to her husband in the middle. It goes by the moment of death. This yibum. But if it goes, you have to look at the entire marriage. During that marriage, there was a moment in time which was awesome. Meila, she's asur. So I don't know. I have a suffix. So what do you do when you have a suffix? Chalitza. Of course, she's chayiv yibum. Why? Because we go at the moment of death. When somebody gets divorced, everybody knows it happened. It's the biggest thing. The first thing you hear in shul, you heard so and so got divorced. When they get back together, nobody cares. Nobody knows. So ve'ein hakol bekim b'chazara. So, as the Gemara is going to explain in a millisecond, then maybe they get married for 5 minutes before he died. It's possible. There's always a possibility. There's a case in the world somewhere, right? Crazy cases. Chas and Kala leave the Chas and they get killed on the way. It happened. I know somebody that she was coming back from her Vart, she got killed. It's possible that, or my good friend, the Schwabs, the father got killed in a car crash, leaving the Vart of his son David. So it's possible, right? It's possible that you're married he takes her back for 5 minutes, and then he died, and nobody heard about it. If nobody heard about it, people are going to start saying rumors. Oh, look at her. So, Adarabah Chazor came in the Yosef to say, Islakala, what do you mean? She's married to him. Everybody knows. Hey, look, they're back together again. So Nachamal and Shul, everybody's going to shmooze. Says Gemara, but Mila Askin and the Hadra B'Urta v'Shach B'Tzafra. The rule is in every single case. And there isn't one single possibility. Yes, it's a very far-fetched possibility. It's possible that they were married for 5 minutes and nobody heard about it. Rav Ashi Omar, another pshat. At the end of the day, you look at the moment of death. The Gozar Hani Mishum Yisoyma B'Chaya Av Ve'Chzira. Oh, so I'm just making a gzeira here. That in terms of a ktana or received kiddushin when her father was still alive, she's a ktana B'Chaya Av. Yeah, we know what a ktana B'Chaya Av. She has a father, he's still alive, but he gave her away to somebody else, and she got married again, and he took her back. And that's the Rabbanon. Chanami Mistaber Miktoni Seifa Ktana Shesio Avia Ben Garsha Ki Yisoyma B'Chayav. Now, if her father married her off and she got divorced, so now she has hatzlacha of a Yisoyma in her father's lifetime. Ve'Chzira, and he took her back. Divrei Kol Shasur Liyavam. According to everybody, that's the end of the Mishnah, right? But this is Hai Ma'ila Meimra Pshita. So the fact that the Mishnah has to tell you this case, says the Gemara, it's going to tell us this. Time of the Rebbe Lazar. The reason I'm bringing this whole case where it's not necessary is to tell you, to explain to you what Rebbe Elazar says in the beginning of the Mishnah. The Gozar Hanach Mishum Hai. The first two cases of the Mishnah are because of this final case in the Mishnah, which is a pshitusa, but it says it anyways. Just explain the reasoning behind the first two cases. Shema Mino. Tanya was Rav Ashi. I have a writer of Ashi. It says, Moedim Chachamim Rebbe Lazar. Now, this is the writer from right here. Why do Chachamim talk to Rebbe Lazar in this case? Moedim Chachamim Rebbe Lazar. B'ktana shesio aviv in his garsha. In a case where the father married off the ktana, and then she got divorced. So we said it's deraisa. You married off deraisa, received the get deraisa. Hareki is soima b'chayav. And then vichziro, and he took her back. Shasur liyava. The Gemara is going to point out the first words. Now, it continues. What's the case? Her father accepted the get, like we explained before, and he took her back when she's a ktana. But if he took her back when she's a gdoila, inami, or another case. She grew up with him, she got older, and then the first time they were together, they had relations, that is the kiddushin, v'meis, and then he dies. And then, Mishum Rebbe Lazar, all of a sudden, Rebbe Lazar comes into the picture. But don't forget, says Rebbe Lazar. But don't forget that all in the beginning it said, Moedim Chachamim Rebbe Lazar. He only shows up all the way at the end of the brisa. So why does it say Moedim Chachamim Rebbe Lazar? Right? That she's a V'soim Chayav. So, obviously, the reason why it says Moedim Chacham, because we want to say that is important to the machlokes that we have here. That is the reasoning. Not that there's a machlokes in the beginning. But, by the way, this is going to be Rebbe Lazar's reason. The Geyser Yisayim Chayav. Boy b'nei Rava mirav Nachman. So, Rasa Mahu, here we go. You have Ruvain married to 2 women, and he gave the 5-towner a get, and then halachically he's permitted to remarry her. It's actually a mitzvah, machzir grushasa. But now you have that point when he gave her a get that she was usher to Shimon on the bottom, the guy on the bottom. His sister-in-law became usher to him, an isser of grushasa, right? And then the brother goes bye-bye. Ask the Gemara, okay, so you're telling me that the 5-towner is usher to Shimon according to the Shita. Why? Because I go by the entire marriage. And during the marriage, there was a point in time where she was usher to the brother-in-law. But what about the tzara? Does the bat ayin lady become the tzara of the machzir grushasai? And memela, Reuven cannot be miyabim the bat ayin lady. Omar le he gufa gzeiro. Shimon, what did I say? Okay. Can Shimon marry the bat ayin lady? It would be very funny if the dead man married bat ayin. Okay. But Shimon. Says the Gemara, what's the whole thing? He gufa gzeira. The fact that Shimon cannot be with the 5-towner is the gzeira that we just said, Yisoyma b'chayoav. So that's one gzeira. You want to tell me that he cannot marry the bat ayin lady because he might marry the 5-town lady. And if he marries the 5-town lady, he might marry a grusha Yisoyma b'chayav. That's a double gzeira. We don't do gzeira l'gzeira. He go gzeira and I go nigzar gzeira l'gzeira. But time Shum Reb Elazar Amru. By the way, we're going to get Gishmak got the Gemara if we get to there soon. Amud Beis. Motzei Shabbos. Let's big guest coming Motzei Shabbos Beis Hashem. Personality, famous one. Mendy, you should come. You're going to enjoy. Everybody should come. Let's Mendy, how's it going? You got some people to join Subas? Mamish? But you're working as hard as like you when you work on a safari, or like I want to hear that's happening. I know the safari is happening. I want to know that this is happening. I'm not going to let you go. Oh, it says both of them have chalitza. Ask the Gemara, you have to give 2 women chalitza? We never had such a thing. 2. One or the other. But nevertheless, we have a problem here. You just said that he should be mutter to batayin. Why? Because it's exer, he's mutter to batayin. We just said he can't be with batayin. He has to give her chalitza. Both of them get chalitza. Says the Gemara, it said something funny. It said they both need chalitza. And you already fixed it and said it doesn't mean both. It means one or the other. So you fixed it. Okay, so fix something else. What it means is, the one on the left, 5-towner gets 100% of chalitza. The one on the right, you can even be miyabim if you want. Says the official Mishnah, sponsored, Leilu Nishmas, Remei Yechiel, Ben, Remevrom, Zechron Levracha. Here's the case. You have Reuven and Shimon married to 2 Ktanos. Umeis Bal Shalachas Mem. And one of the sisters' husband dies. One of the husbands goes bye-bye. The first one, the one on the top, doesn't even need chalitza. She could just go out. Why? Because it's impossible for Shimon on the bottom to be married to 2 sisters. It's also for him to be married to 2 sisters. So she goes away. The same thing. What's a cherish? Cherish means somebody that can't speak, can't hear. It was at 1:30 in the morning. I started getting messages from Yoshi. I want him to draw a nice chereshes. We came up with a great idea. How do you draw that? Think about it. How do you draw chereshes? Put a hearing aid. It's not so nice. This, an X, that. Great idea. You'll see it. I think everybody will love it. Now, what about a different case? You have 2 sisters, the sisters, but one of them is an adult. In other words, her marriage to Shimon is a doiraisa. And as you see over here, the husband of the Ktana goes bye-bye. That's Pashat. She gets bumped off because she's a choisisha. However, what happens if Meis Balash G'dayla? What if Shimon goes bye-bye? And now Reuven has a major problem. He has a Yevama Da'iraisa knocking on his door. She has a Zikim Da'iraisa. The wife that he has, the Ktana, the 11-year-old, is only the Rabbanon. It's a fake marriage, kind of. It's not a real strong marriage with Da'iraisa. But Badayin is a real Yevama. What does he do now? So we have 3 opinions here. Rabbi Eliezer Oimer, Rabbi Eliezer of the opinion, Ein Zika. There's no bond between Bat Ayin to Reuven. And memelo, therefore, milam misaktana. We had this a number of times in our Masechta. Milam misaktana shetimayim by. So therefore, we teach the ktana say, I don't want to be married to Ruvain and memela. Ruvain will be miyabim Shimon's wife, the deraisa. If she does it on her own, great. Vimlav, we don't force her. We don't tell her. She should wait until she becomes a g'dayla. Interesting, he says. You wait until the ktana becomes an adult. And then that ktana bumps off her sister that was an adult before her and had, we thought, a connection. No, it's not a problem. The ktana takes over. Eloi alishtoi, like they say in Eli, alishtoi, Eloi alishes oivei, Eloi alishes achiv, Nebuch. He has to divorce his wife. He has to get rid of the Yevama. Moitzis ish beget, veishis achiv b'chalitza. Here, just to show you a little bit what's going on here. Before we were saying that if Reuven decides, let's give Bat Ayin a chalitza, he won't be able to be married to his wife, the Ktana. Why? Because then she's the sister of a chalutza. If he divorces the Ktana, he can't marry Batayim because she's a choiz grushasai. And now, if he bumps off the G'dayla because she becomes a choiz zkukasai, another thing. He can't be with her because she's the sister of somebody that she's zakuk to. Says the Gemara, Umi Shari. Rebbe Lezer says we teach this girl to say, I don't want you. Here comes Nagadta. There's three things that you should grab onto, and you should stay away from three things. You should stick to three things. You should do chalitza instead of yibum. You should take upon yourself shalom. By the way, this week's parsha in Eretz Yisrael, Parshas Korach, the parsha of Shalom. The halacha is, if you're machzik b'machloikis, I went around yesterday, I asked a bunch of people, do you have anybody in your life that you don't talk to? Almost everybody told me they have one person. One person. There's one guy I don't talk to. So you're machzik b'machloikis. You're machzik b'machloikis, of course it's not your fault, it's that other person's fault. But if you're machzik b'machloikis, then you're over on this parsha, on the parsha of Korach. So maybe Lekovid Parshas Korach, pick up the phone, call up that person. You should be made. If you make a neder, get rid of the neder. Go to the rabbi, get rid of it. Be made for it. And stay away from three things. Minamion. You shouldn't. Mion, it's a bad thing. You're going to see. But Taisa says an amazing thing. He says, in the name of Goin, not the Vilna Goin, Goin. Therefore, don't even marry an orphan in Yisoima. Why? If you think that this girl is going to be a pruta, then fine, then you marry her off. So, Gufa, Menamiyun, Menapikdoinos, don't take deposits, the Gemara is going to explain, Menarevainos, don't become a guarantor on a loan. So, how could you teach for Mion? You're not supposed to do Mion. Mion the mitzvah shani. Over here, it's that there should be a Yibum, so that's why it's different. Gufa, you should stick to three things. Why do you do Chalitza and Yibum? Like we had in the Masechta a number of times, the Sanya, Abashol Oimer. You marry her because of her beauty. L'shem ishus, because you want to shame, like we discussed. People want to be known as married people. They don't want to be that elter bacher. L'shem davar acher. What's a very dirty word? Money. That's what it means here. Usually means PIG or whatever. Over here it means money. He marries her for her money. Kilu pagya be'erva. Like we had the other day, like there's an aveir lishma, but if a person has a little bit of anah from it, he has the wrong intent, that's terrible. Over here, person, yes, it's a mitzvah to be miyabim, but if he has a little bit of hana, when we discussed, he's allowed to have the hana, but if in the beginning, whatever it was, ba'avah shalom, to make peace. You should chase peace. Daf Kuf Tes Amud Beis. Sponsored by Moshie Horn and Hillel Zand. Sponsored by Nisano Lzchus Ruchni Gashmi from Murad Nakash for introducing me to MDY. Asir Redifa. Check out Rashi. We have to see Rashi inside. Redifa. Tashem Socher Gadol Lava Shalom. It's a tremendous reward when you bring peace. You get reward in this world. Says Rashi. There's a Gzer Shav, Ksiv Hacha, Baki Shalom V'Rot Feyu, Uksiv Hasam, Roidef, Tzedakah V'Chesed. You chase Tzedakah and Chesed. Yimtza Chayim. You're going to find life where? In Olam Haba. Tzedakah V'Chavayd, Chayim, Tzedakah V'Chavayd, Chavayd is Ba'olam Hazeh. Ba'afar is Nedarim. Ki Rebbe Nosson. Desanya, Rebbe Nosson Oimer HaNoider Kilu Bana Bama. When you make a neder, you shouldn't make a neder. It's as if you created a bama, you're making a mizbeach in your backyard when it's also. It says in the pasuk, if you don't do nedarim, lo yevachachet. In other words, you can be medayik that if you do make a neder, it is a chet. This is Rashi, not my pshat. So kilu bana bana because you're over on this pasuk. So there's two steps. First, you build a mizbeach in your backyard. Well, you didn't bring the carbon yet. And then you bring the carbon on top of it. Over here, you made a neder. You say you're not gonna eat the meat for the rest of your life. You made a neder. And you keep to it, that's bad. Hashem doesn't want you to make the dharm like that. Go to the Rav and be mevatel the neder. Stay away from three things. Stay away from me, and why? The Magadla, Umachartaba. Maybe she'll take back her miyun. And so what? She might get married to somebody else, we're trying to explain. And then you're going to try to convince her to get away from it. And you're going to convince her to get the kitzur. It's a proud. Minapik doinos. Don't take deposits. Says Gemara Barmasa from a person from a city. The Vaisiu Kivese. My house is your house, like my shver's house. Everybody walks in, walks out. It's a whole. So somebody's going to walk in, see his leichter. How do you say? Candelabra, other names, whatever you want to call it, on the thing. When nobody's looking, chaps it, runs. It's a problem. Minei Ravain. Ba'arvei shal tzion. When you go directly to the Arev. Today, most gmachim, it's almost like that. If you sign a guarantee, you're a guarantor on a loan, they most likely will come after you even before they'll call the guy 3-4 times. If they don't pick up, they call you right away. And it's a problem. So be very careful before you do a guarantee for somebody. There'll be a one bad after another. Being a guarantor for strangers, so to speak. When we accept converts, gerim, and we take arvos of shaltzion means when they come to you right away. The Gemara is going to explain all these things. So you're not confusing. You say, "Whoa, how we take a gerim?" It says Taisus ra hara amari hainu eicha shemisi guy. When you try to convince them, you go out there, become gerim. Or you don't do the whole research. You don't make them work for it. Hey, Mr. Guy, but if a guy wants to become a ger, he works really hard. Yesh lanu lekablam. You should accept the ger. They didn't receive Timna, and then came a terrible thing out of it. Amalek came out of the fact that Avram wasn't Megayer Timna, and then he brings here V'gam Yeshua Kibel Rachav Azayna. Most people say Rachav was a Zayna for that person who wrote online that Rachav is not a Zayna. Rachav was a Zayna. There's one shita that says that she sold him Zaynas, but anyway, V'nama V'rusam Avia. Fine. Zog the Gemara. Domer V'chel V'koshim Gerim Yisroch is a Pachas Ba'ar. Gerim are like a negat tzaras. Why? Because we learn from their maisim. And a ger has a very long beard and a bieber hit, and he walks around, and everybody's like, "Oh, look, he touches muks on Shabbos. I'm also going," but he doesn't know. And we had another pshat once when we learned this. I don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't quote it because I don't remember so well. But I remember a pshat that. It's like Hakadosh Baruch is going to look at them and say, "Look, they're doing the mitzvah so beautifully, yeah, they could take her." And then what about us? I don't know. One of the Rishonim, I think, said it. Rashi. Who? Tosfos. Okay, fine. What are you guys looking at the bottom of the article? It says it? No, you're looking at the Mesifta. Fine. Oh, sorry. What does that mean? They have the shloif doitz. Shloif doitz means attach and detach. In other words, I'm detaching from the loiva and attaching it to you, the Arev. You become responsible. The Ramah in Shulchan Aruch says it's a lashon of soap. I cleanse the loiva from his loan and it goes directly to you. What does that mean? The If a person says, I don't keep the Torah, I don't learn Torah. Not that I don't learn Torah. He's not going to get schar for learning Torah. Pshita. You didn't learn it. Why would you get schar? Where is it? The one Masechta? Our Masechta? Oh, they went all the way to different Masechtas. Our Masechta. That's why I remembered it. I was wondering how I remembered it. Okay. So, Mem Zayin on Beis? Mem Zayin on Beis and Taisus. Fine. Torah, Zichru, Boy says Zichru, that's Levi Freeman. If a person only learns and he doesn't do anything else, we'll see in a second, you lose your Torah, you don't do anything else, you lose even the learning. My time, of Papa, my crow. That's what Nachman called me up. You gotta do all, you gotta do chesed, Eli. You gotta do chesed. What's wrong with you? If you don't do what you learn when you preach, like we said before, I'm not learning. He learns Torah, he doesn't do chesed, but he teaches other people to do chesed, and everybody else goes out and does it. All his Talmidim go out and do chesed. Maybe he should get some schar because he taught him to do it. He doesn't get the schar for that. You have a dayan that something came to him. He knows something remotely similar. You're supposed to take something similar and put it together, but it's not very similar. It's very far. And he has a rebbe he can go to. So over here, the word tekeh means he leans on himself and doesn't go to his rebbe. Like there's a knife between his thighs. Gehenim is open underneath him. How do we understand this pshat? From now on, we're going to learn a new pshat. Here you guys in the back. Who's Shlomo? Shlomo Melech. Wrong. Shlomo in Mishlei and in Kaelis is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here's the bet of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak. Says Rashi. Shishim Gibarim Saviv La. Who are the Gibarim? The Sanhedrin. It's not 60, 70. Gibarim. Mi Gibar Yisrael. Mi Pachad Aleilos. Mi Pachad Shegehenim Shedoim Alayla. You have the fear of Gehenim Shedoim Alayla. We'll stop over here. Have a wonderful Shabbos, Rabbi Isai. 10:15 sharp.